Welcome to the Pensitor Invisible channel, your go-to spot for exploring the hottest curiosities and the most relevant topics in today's world. In today's video, we're diving into the US presidential race, an event that always sparks heated debates, not just there but worldwide. If you've been keeping up with the news, you probably know that two names are dominating the scene: Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And, of course, the controversies surrounding these two candidates are only growing. So if you want to understand what's really at stake in this election and why the figures of Trump and Harris spark so much debate, stick around until the end. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any new content. Let's get started. Let's start by talking about Donald Trump, a name no one can ignore when it comes to American politics. Even after leaving the presidency, his impact continues to resonate across the United States and worldwide. Despite the controversies and investigations surrounding him, he still has a massive base of support, proving that Trump's influence is far from fading out of the political landscape. Trump's main slogan is still America First. This essentially means putting America's interests above everything and everyone else. He champions American economic strength, strict immigration control, and an aggressive stance in international relations. During his first term, he made moves that broke protocols, like the tensions with North Korea and the trade war with China. But that's not all. Trump stands out as the anti-establishment candidate, the one who challenges the traditional political order and refuses to follow the conventional rules of behavior for politicians. For many people, this is seen as authenticity and courage. For others, it's synonymous with arrogance and recklessness. And this is where we start to see the polarization surrounding his name. Since leaving office, Trump has faced a series of investigations and legal cases. He's been accused of inciting the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021, which created a huge divide in American society. There are also cases involving his business practices and alleged fraud. Yet, despite all these accusations, his popularity among Republican voters remains strong. To many of his supporters, these investigations are nothing more than political persecution, an attempt by the system to keep him from returning to power. Trump positions himself as the victim of a conspiracy, reinforcing his image as the outsider fighting against the deep state. This narrative is what keeps his base mobilized and ready to defend him at all costs. And here's the big question. Are the United States ready for another 4 years of Donald Trump? On one hand, he's seen as the leader who speaks bluntly and confronts global threats head-on. On the other hand, he's viewed as a figure who fuels division and chaos. Now let's switch sides and talk about Kamala Harris. Before we continue, please leave a like on this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our updates. As the Vice President of the United States and a central figure in the Democratic Party, Harris is seen as a potential successor to Joe Biden. But despite her prominent position, she hasn't escaped controversy either. Since taking office as VP, Kamala Harris has faced criticism from both the right and within her own progressive wing. Many question her lack of action on sensitive issues like the border crisis and police reform. Even though these were major promises during Biden's campaign, Harris seems to have taken a back seat, failing to show the leadership many expected. One of the biggest criticisms against Kamala Harris revolves around immigration. As vice president, she was tasked with leading efforts to manage the flow of immigrants at the southern U.S. border. The humanitarian crisis unfolding in the region is one of the most delicate topics in American politics, and Harris's response has been widely criticized. She only visited the border once, and her statements, like the infamous "do not come" directed at immigrants, sparked a wave of negative reactions. To the right, Harris is seen as lenient on illegal immigration and unable to take firm measures to protect American security. To the more progressive left, she's criticized for not offering humane and inclusive solutions to the crisis. This ambiguous stance puts Harris in a tough spot. By trying to balance moderation needed to avoid alienating centrist voters, she ends up pleasing neither the progressive base nor the moderates. Another point that sparks intense debates about Kamala Harris is her past as a prosecutor and California Attorney General. During her career, Harris took tough stances on crime, supporting policies that led to mass incarceration, disproportionately affecting Black and Latino communities. This history is constantly used against her, especially by progressives pushing for deep criminal justice reforms. The irony is that while she presents herself as a defender of civil rights and minorities, her past in the justice system places her in a fragile position with the more radical wing of the Democratic Party. Just like Trump, Harris carries a controversial background that breeds distrust even within her own political circle. Given all this, an interesting speculation arises. What if the final showdown in the 2024 presidential election is between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris? While nothing is set in stone, this possibility raises several questions about the future of the United States and the world. On one side, there's a former president who still rallies a loyal base, eager to return with his nationalist policies and confrontational approach. On the other side, a vice president trying to position herself as Biden's natural successor, but still struggling to connect with voters and demonstrate the strength needed to lead the most powerful nation on the planet. It would be a clash of completely opposite narratives and styles. Trump, with his blunt and confrontational manner, representing the conservative and nationalist wing, while Harris, with her message of inclusion and social justice, aims to win over progressive and moderate voters. What's clear is that no matter who comes out on top, the United States remains deeply divided. The upcoming election won't just be about picking a candidate. It'll be an ideological battle that will define the country's future and its role on the global stage. On one side, there's the promise of a return to more traditional policies, and on the other, the push for progress on progressive agendas. And amid this polarization, it's the voters who often find themselves stuck between extremes, unable to find an option that truly represents their concerns. The truth is, whether it's Trump or Harris, the next president of the United States will have to face massive challenges, from the economy to national security, not to mention the increasingly hostile internal climate. So, what do you think of this showdown? In your opinion, who's better prepared to tackle the challenges ahead? Donald Trump, with his "I don't take nonsense" attitude, or Kamala Harris, with her promise of a new era of inclusion and social progress? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this debate is just getting started. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the Invisible Thinker-SP channel, and activate the notification bell so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Here, you'll always find in-depth analysis, curiosities, and discussions that make you think beyond the obvious. So, you know what to do, share this video with your friends and let's grow this community of thinkers. See you next time, and may balance be with you.